girls are working hard. Oh my goodness.
These hoes work.
That's mind blowing that so many people.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Slide Through. We got Alicia and Corey in the building.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Oh, you're wearing my she's
wearing my dipped
magic, baby.
My chakra collection.
You're dipped right now, Estela?
I'm dipped.
She stays dipped.
How'd you become so dipped?
I
From me.
purchased
From you?
a sweatshirt from Alicia's Dipped Magic.
I used to always get girls those dipped chocolates from Edible Arrangements. That was like my swag back in the day. That's all I used to do. That was like,
sure.
You know, like if I can eat it and it's chocolate and pretty.
They would receive them anonymously. They're like, "Who is this from?" And then I'd go
even
on,
put your name on it.
I'm like, "Huh?"
You wouldn't even put your name on it?
No, I would. I'm just being funny right now. That's all.
Oh.
Yeah. I bet you that sounds good to you right now, huh, Alicia?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Those are two of my
cravings?
favorite things: chocolate and fruit, especially like pineapple. Definitely sweets. I definitely have a sweet tooth, but I actually just ordered like $90 worth of fruit. So it's literally, because I've been craving sugar, but I'm trying to like not eat so much just shit. So, but
your baby's going to love fruit when
I hope
he's born.
I don't know. I don't know that that's true because I craved fruit like crazy when I was pregnant with Abby, and she literally, there's only like 2 fruits she'll eat.
Really? My kids are pretty.
Our kids are weird. Though.
They'll eat anything. I mean,
they're particular. Like they'll eat vegetables, but then I'll offer my kids cake or ice cream sometimes. And they're just like, nah. Like, I don't get it. Like, they're not normal kids.
And I have a
the
major
cool dad.
sweet tooth.
My daughter will eat a stick of kale or like a handful of raw spinach or cauliflower, but she will not eat strawberries. She will not eat like pineapple, nothing.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
I don't understand it. They're so weird.
She likes kale?
She loves kale, dude. Just like you go break it off the fucking bush and like she'll just eat it like that. She just loves that shit.
Yeah, kale's not my.
She does that for all her kids. She even has like the actual catnip tree so that her cat can go and just nibble off the tree. Don't you?
Yeah. I did.
You're like an organic grower of all things.
I lived in Eugene, Oregon for 7 years, right? I went full hippie up there.
She became a straight up hippie out there. Hey, man. So I was listening to the podcast, Tell It Like It Is. Shout out to that podcast. That was pretty cool. I was like, hold on. We get a little applause going. By the way, like I'm like the sound master. She's the talent of the podcast, and I'm just kind of like the sound effects guy or whatever, right?
You just press the buttons.
Yeah, I just press buttons. I get a little like trigger.
Sounds like a good job. I like the sound.
She does all the work, and I just show up and show my feet.
You're the pretty face and feet.
Right.
The foot star.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yeah. So I really enjoyed how you guys just kind of let it all out, and you just don't hold back at all. And seems like that's kind of the direction of the podcast. Would you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of the direction of our lives, really. I mean, pretty blunt, pretty straightforward for the most part.
That's pretty cool.
Like to hear it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It almost in a way like seems like it's like super therapeutic for you both as well.
Yeah, I like it. And it's just easier. It's so much easier to not have to like think about filtering through things and just being able to be an open book and talk about things openly. And I don't know, people want to know stuff. So I'm just like, cool. And we just talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. I was cracking up when Corey, he had mentioned something about how guys have to go through an actual physical body change before intercourse or whatever. And you were like,
I was like,
excuse me? And he's like, no. I mean, like, guys, like we have to get boners or whatnot. I was cracking up.
I didn't understand what he was saying at first. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. That's true. Because you guys can't really fake it.
No,
that sucks.
It either works or it doesn't.
That's gonna be stressful.
Man, there's nothing worse than like just having like a long night of drinking whiskey or whatever, and then you come home and you're with your significant other, and she's just like, "What did I do?"
You're like, "It's not you. It's not you. I swear."
Right.
Yeah.
It's even worse when you have the whiskey dick and you ain't had any whiskey.
Real talk.
That's worse.
That's a lot worse. It's just a long day.
That's a bit frustrating, but I guess it's okay when you've been together for 12 years.
Yeah, it happens. We're like, no, it's not tonight. All right, we'll try again tomorrow. Good night.
Wait, so you guys are in San Diego, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conveniently for you, Corey. You know, the Cialis Pharmacia is right across the border. You know,
people are gonna think you have a problem now.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm pregnant for the 3rd time. There's no problem.
Yeah.
I'm currently knocked up.
Thank you so much, by the way, for like pushing through and being preggo and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's a trooper.
She's a motherfucking professional.
I honestly, I just like, I do like to work. So
did you say she learns from me?
She learns how to be a trooper from you, right?
I don't know. I think I'm the one who has to keep up with her, man. She's a workhorse.
I don't know. I like working. I've always been that way.
Well, even
it's
like
good,
tonight, you say that you weren't like really feeling all that well, and you're like, man, we gotta get this podcast done.
Yeah, I mean, I also know what it's like on the other end too. Like in your guys' position, you know, if you have something set up, you promote it and stuff, and you rely on the other people to show up too. So sometimes you got to come in nasally, and it's okay. Just work with it.
I was working on the postponed sign for the flyer I posted. I was like, fuck.
You were working on a postponed sign?
Yeah, I was
yeah, because we were.
It's our bad though, man, because like usually we knock out a whole bunch of like the guest episodes, and we got so tied up in doing all the live streams and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that you guys were doing that. We're totally new to like the podcast world, so I didn't even know that people did podcasts live on
I didn't know
YouTube.
it either. Just kind of
happened.
Cool. It just kind of happened.
Did it and it went well. So we're like, all right,
should
we do this again? And they're like, yeah. And we're like, okay, we'll do it again. And then we're like, fuck it, because it's actually a lot easier. Because now when we do live streams, he doesn't have to like edit.
Yeah.
So it's completely raw. Like if we fuck up, we fuck up.
Like that.
That's professional. We're not cutting that out. You know what I mean? Like
it is what it is.
But it does make his life a hell of a lot easier when we do the live stream, because he does the editing. Like
that came at like the perfect time too.
I know, right at the perfect combo.
Hey, so Corey, so I understand you coach Muay Thai?
Yes. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Mainly for beginners. Like I don't try to teach people to actually compete or fight yet, but probably work my way up to that at some point. I like to compete myself, but I'm down to let some people throw some hands and some elbows and some knees at me.
Man, that's super cool, man. That's a great sport right there. I've tried Muay Thai a few times. Like, I mean, you know, just at super beginner level, and you know, I got my ass kicked a few times or whatever, you know, trying Muay Thai. But man, it's crazy, man. Like, because you throw all the kicks and I guess elbows too, right? Or elbows, is that an illegal thing?
No, elbows are good.
That's
knees
why it's
are good.
fun.
It's called the art of 8 limbs. So yeah,
I'm like, man, like that's got to be way better than like having like any other skill, like in the real world, like being that, like having like the skill to like kick somebody if they're approaching you at a fast pace, like those just like those quick, like,
oh hell yeah,
like 300 kick that they do. You know what I'm talking about? Like Sparta kick,
yeah.
And then they do the kick or whatever.
Yeah, it's called a teep in Muay Thai.
I just recently, like 2 weekends ago, I went to Rosarito for a Muay Thai fight actually, and I was just going to support and watch it. It like just so happened that they needed somebody to do sound or whatever. So just like as of recent, I've been getting like really into Muay Thai, and the thing that fascinates me the most about Muay Thai is like the level of respect. It seems different. It doesn't seem like as like you don't do the shit talking as much in Muay Thai. There's more of like almost like you bow to each other first before you even go into the ring.
Yeah, and even in the fights, there's very little taunting. You know, you see that in like boxing and MMA, but it's all about respect. But I think that part of that has to do with the fact that it's like the most violent sport. So, you know, you might get what you ask for if you start taunting somebody in the ring or start disrespecting them. But yeah, definitely, it's more like the martial arts, like a true martial art, you know?
Yeah, I think it also takes a different type of person. Like it's a different breed of athletes, I think. Because I don't compete or anything like that, but I've obviously followed along with him, and we lived in Thailand for a little bit. So I've been very involved in the community and I've seen it. And it's just crazy how much respect people do really have for you. And it's a very taxing sport, very taxing. Like it just beats you up.
It's like a good workout.
It totally is. And that's why I do it.
Like 8 years ago, and that shit's a fucking workout. Like
yeah. If you ever get in there and do some sparring, like after one round, you're just like winded, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I gotta do this for another 2 or 3 rounds or whatever. And then those guys, they go you know, and like the professional Muay Thai fighters, they go like 5 rounds. Dude, that's
a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, I actually just came back from sparring like an hour ago.
That's why we almost pushed this to 8:30 because I was like, I need to give him a little time, but he came back and he was good. So
yeah, it was my first time getting in there for about 3 months though, because I pretty sure I tore my labrum in my shoulder. So
oh no,
but I just had to do it, man. I've been missing it. It's like
didn't you just have like surgery recently on your shoulder?
Yeah, on my left one.
Oh my god, so this is the other one.
Yeah.
Fuck, Corey.
You're always injured. You're always injured.
It's a high impact sport, man. It's brutal.
He's ruptured an eardrum. Like there have been so many. One of our buddies just had a fight and he broke his leg in the fight. Like it's like, yeah, it's pretty brutal. And then the training itself is brutal too. So it's like you don't want to go as hard because you don't want to like hurt yourself and not be able to fight.
Right.
But at the same time, like it's a bunch of men. Like it's hard for them to like take it easy on each other too.
What was living in Thailand like?
It was awesome. It was cool. I was pregnant.
It was a different experience than we expected because she was like,
Corey, man, you gotta keep your hands off once in a while, bud.
I've been pregnant for 2.5 years of my life so far.
It's too fun, man. I like having babies.
And they're so fucking cute. I don't know if you've ever seen our kids, but they're really cute. So
they're really cute.
Yeah.
No, Thailand was sick, man, except for it was a little bit different than expected because one, we had a 3-year-old boy. And she got pregnant like 2 weeks before we found out she was pregnant 2 weeks before our plane flight to Thailand. So we actually almost canceled it because of that, because everybody's like trying to scare us with the Zika virus stuff and whatnot. But even our doctors was like, hey, I mean, if you guys are careful and
they weighed the pros and cons. And like, if you want to risk it, we think it's, you know, she basically supported me. So I was like, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Then we're like, all right, let's do it.
So it was like different. Like if you go out there, like, you know, 2 adults or even like 1 adult and like a teen kid or something, it's pretty cool because you can cruise around on the mopeds and whatnot. But it was a little different having a pregnant wife and a young boy. But at one point we did have 5 of us on 1 moped. Wow. my niece came out there. Well, 5 if you count the baby in her belly. There was 4 of us on it and she was pregnant. So
and that's totally normal. You'll see people just like piled on.
They'll get like ovens and stuff on their mopeds. Like they'll carry the crazy stuff on their mopeds. I don't know how they do it. They got skills over there.
Yeah, it's a cool culture though.
Yeah, man. I definitely got to go to Thailand sometime. I want to go ride one of those elephants. Don't they do that there? You can like ride elephants?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have where can you ride the ones in the sanctuaries?
No.
Because there's also like a lot of like laws with riding the elephants because it's obviously not like the nicest thing to do. So they do have like sanctuaries where you can go and bathe the elephants and stuff, but they do have well, I didn't do it. I wasn't feeling well that day, coincidentally.
I gave an elephant a shower.
Yeah, he bathed the elephant.
I got staph infection from him, but
it's okay.
Oh shit!
I had a little cut on my chest, and we went and me and Sasha, my niece, we went and bathed the elephants, and then I ended up getting staph infection from it. But it was worth it.
Always something. I swear.
Are you
doing the most?
Are you at all worried about so you say in Thailand, like it was like around the time of the Zika virus or whatever, are you at all worried, or is it like different being preggo during the whole Rona stuff going on right now, or is it kind of?
No, it hasn't really impacted me at all. I got pregnant in November, or I found out I was pregnant. I got pregnant in October. And so all of it was already happening, but yeah, I've just never really been afraid of it. I just kind of do my thing, and I'm a generally very healthy person. But yeah, it hasn't affected me at all. Up until like literally last night, I have been in perfect health. I think I have a cold right now, but yeah.
I will say it is a little sketchy, like knowing that if one of us tests positive when the baby's being born, that it's going to kind of screw things up. Because before she even got pregnant, like her friend was pregnant and they were talking about how like they'll separate the parents from the kids if you test positive. And I thought like, wow, what a shitty time to get pregnant, you know? And then a couple weeks later, there we go.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That is something to consider. I think if it's still the case, you do have to test and stuff. So I'm due in July. Hopefully it'll die down a little bit.
It's starting to, I feel like.
I think so too. Yeah. They're being more lenient. Like he hasn't been able to come to any of the ultrasound appointments or any of that stuff, but again, it's our 3rd baby. It's not really.
It's funny how that happens. Like I had so many more pictures of Abby than Gavin.
They get lower and lower.
Like I never wrote his stuff down. I'm like, shit.
No, I don't do like every once in a while. Mom. Yeah, you look back, you're like, man, I don't really have as much. Good thing I'm not scrapbooking because that would suck.
Yeah. They think she's the favorite. Like, it's not really true. I just had more time.
Yeah, you were my first one.
It's brand new.
Yeah, well, you definitely got to have a great support system during a time like this, I bet. And I just want to point out that you are on record saying that Corey is the perfect husband.
Yeah, absolutely. Aw, he's so humble. No, I always tell people that. What?
That's good.
Everyone's like,
I won't ever claim to be perfect. Is a strong word.
He's not like nobody's fucking perfect, but he's definitely sets the bar pretty high.
Perfect for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah,
for
he's
her.
perfect for me for sure.
Right. So 12 years of marriage, right?
No, we've been together for 12 years.
Okay, been together for 12 years. All right, so I've been married to my wife now for hold on. Oh yes, all right, 7 years.
You're about to get in
right?
trouble, Jimmy. You better get this shit.
All right, so like there was something that you were talking about on the podcast, and you could tell like I listened to the podcast for sure, and on the podcast I was listening, and I'm like there's so many things to relate with during that podcast, and I think probably because I'm a married dude, and one of the things that really stood out to me was when you guys were talking about how like just kind of going through the years together and everything, like you kind of discover love the more the years go by, and that like really resonated with me because I even tell my wife this, like this is still something she'd probably kick my ass for saying, but I feel like I like started loving her more that the years progressed, right? Because I don't think that you really actually know somebody until so many years have went by. And I don't know, that's something that resonated with me on you guys' podcast.
Awesome, man. Yeah, no, I think it's for sure true. I was just talking to her yesterday, I think, about how like I was just thinking the other day how happy I am that we're kind of past those like first 3 or 4 years when you're in a relationship and like you like or you love the person, but you're not quite sure if like you fully 100% trust them or like, you know what I'm saying? Like you never really know what's going to happen in the future when you're with somebody.
Yeah, it's still fairly new.
You can get cheated on, stuff like that can happen. But I feel like we're at a point right now to where none of that stuff, like we don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. For us, it's, you know, it's got to be something catastrophic that ever gets in the way. And it's kind of like a relief not having that unknown with your partner. Like, hey,
it's
is
a
this
sense of
person going to cheat on me?
Sure.
Is this, you know, do I have a reason to be insecure when they go out with other guys or whatever, you know? And I mean, we don't really give each other reasons to think that, but it's, you know, the infancy years of a relationship they're fun, but they're also like, you got to build a lot of trust. Yeah. You know, so kind of a relief, you know?
Yeah. The longer we're together too, that's how I feel. Like the longer I'm with him, the more secure I'm feeling, the more I just feel like I earned everything I have with him. So like I obviously talk about him very openly and how much I respect him as a father, as a husband, and my best friend. But it's like the longer we're together, the more and more it just like makes me feel like there's absolutely nothing that could come in between us because we just continue to progress together and we really have grown together. Like a decade with somebody is a really long time. And especially because I took his whole 20s. Like I started dating him and he wasn't even 21 yet. So he would drive me to the bar, you know.
It's just like a little bit younger than you, right?
Yeah. A few years.
Yeah. 3 years, right? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know.
I remember listening to that episode of your guys' podcast where you were talking about how like, because obviously you guys are really public with like your struggles and the, you know, the things that you went through, you know, in your 20s. But then I remember you saying specifically that you feel like he's the who he is now, like you put in that time and work with him and like you earned like who he is now.
Yeah. And that's why I don't feel like I don't ever feel threatened by anybody because I know that you couldn't even feel my shoes if you tried because of all the stuff that I've had to be with, like all the stuff that I've had to grow through with him and vice versa. You know, I think that it's just, we've been together for so long. Someone would get lost in the sauce if they tried to come into the situation. It just isn't.
And everything that you guys have built. Like there's nobody who could, like anybody who tried to come in would feel insecure because they didn't build that. They didn't know. And like, I think when you get to a certain point too, it's like, what, like, it's almost inconvenient to go and cheat or like step out.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna start this over.
Like, I just spent all this time and all this blood, sweat, and tears to really, like, are you fucking serious? Like, no way.
Yeah.
Not worth it at that point.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I think it honestly helps us too. Like, I don't think people hit on us as
I
much
know.
as like other married people get hit on.
Am I ugly? Because nobody hits on me.
Yeah, we're just ugly.
I was like, what the fuck?
But we don't. I think it's because we set that
there's boundaries,
precedence in our people know how we respect each other and how we feel about each other, and dudes just don't hit on her unless like she posts
they're always
naked
really
prego
respectful
pic, and you get these weirdos who have fetish with pregnant chicks.
But I mean,
other than that, people don't.
You post a naked prego chick, you're gonna get some of that, But for the most part, people are very respectful, and when they're talking to him, they'll always include me or vice versa, So people are pretty much, they know that we're together, and that's that. So that's how they address us, which is kind of weird because it's a lot of times strangers on the internet that
don't have any respect. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So otherwise, everyone's pretty respectful.
We like to do what we call, I don't know if we don't do it. We don't blur the lines in our relationship. Like when I'm talking to a girl, like a client or anybody, I keep it professional. Like there's zero, I even though I'm secure with like my discipline and my, ability to not succumb to temptations, I don't even want it invited. Like I don't even want the idea of that happening when she's not around. So I don't I don't give anybody signals. Never you know what I'm saying, like never. Even I talked about in the podcast, like I don't go up to girls that I haven't seen in a while and hug them. Like I'll give them a little fist bump, and I mean if they come up and give me a hug, cool, whatever, but it's just something that I'm like, I don't need to be hugging chicks.
And it's what's weird about that too is like we both kind of have done that, but we never like discussed it or made it a thing. Like we were never like, hey, don't hug people, or it just kind of naturally out of respect for each other, we just did it. So I don't know, it's weird because I'm the same way. I don't just like go up and hug men or like ever respond. If someone even tried to flirt with me or whatever, they would feel stupid because I would look confused. Like, what are you doing? Like, it would just be very awkward, but never did we sit down and be like, okay, these are the ground rules. We just kind of like evolved into these boundaries that kind of set, and then we just followed suit. So it's pretty cool.
And we're not like super prudes where hugging is cheating or anything crazy like that.
I'm just saying, like, it's not a big deal.
Estela said it could potentially send mixed signals. I'm not knocking any people who hug each other and stuff. I don't feel desire to hug because I don't know, it's my body touching somebody else's body. I have self-control, but I just don't want to invite anything into my life.
My feet are making a cameo and I'm not even trying.
They love the souls too, girl.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to.
You didn't want people in your DMs. You're about to get them.
Somebody's gonna put a time on that very moment right
Let
there.
me know if you get any requests, because once I get a pedicure, we might be able to talk. But no, it's so funny. I didn't mean to do that.
What do you think about the whole foot thing? Is like, just like how big it actually is. It's crazy.
I didn't know how big it is. I knew that there was like, if there was like a foot fetish community. I mean, there's something for everybody out there, and I've heard of it, but I didn't know it was like as big as it is.
Literally stumbled upon it.
That's what I know. That's kind of what I picked up from what we were talking about, because it's funny. Like, it's just such a funny thing. It's like, you want me to send you a picture of my foot?
That's wild.
It's like a really to try to.
So wild. Like, and I've never in my life have been like, oh, I have nice feet. You know what I mean? Like, I think my feet are fucking like disgusting.
Well, I think all feet are good.
I've never been a fan of anybody's feet.
Yeah.
But there are feet that I think are more visually appealing than my own. And it's wild to me that so many people are like, goddess, like, let me bow down, like, to my feet. And I'm just like, this is like wild to me. They don't like it when I talk shit about my own feet though. So
I wonder what.
So you get feedback.
They're like, don't talk about your feet like that, goddess. They're perfect. Your soles are perfect. I'm not kidding. It's
actually really funny.
How did you stumble across that? Like, how did you learn that?
What had happened was last year, like when we had first started the podcast, I was telling Jimmy about a story of like how one day I took a picture. I was like 2 pictures, but I don't remember which one. There's I had a garden because I was doing my hippie shit in Oregon, and I had like a fat ass cucumber like and I took a picture of my foot next to it for like reference.
A comparison.
Yeah. And some guy from Dubai messaged me asking me if he could send me money for pictures of my feet regularly. And at the time, this was like 2014.
Oh, wow. It's a long time ago.
And I didn't know that was a thing. I had no fucking clue, just completely oblivious, naive to that whole world. And I had a boyfriend at the time. So like being asked that made me feel uncomfortable. So I was like telling him this story, and I was like, I thought it was weird that someone that I didn't know would ask me that, you know?
Yeah.
And then somebody from, we named this clip Foot Fetish Talk. And it was one of those keywords on YouTube that brought foot fetish people to the video. And they got really mad, a couple of them, because they thought I was saying that people who have a foot fetish are weird, versus like that situation felt weird to me, which is what I was really thinking. And so then we started trolling him, and Jimmy and I did the foot cam where we did his feet and my feet. They were pissed. They were pissed. I didn't want to see his feet. His feet like Neapolitan ice cream because he had the tan line. His ankle, like his leg was dark.
Bad. They were like elephant
white,
feet.
and then
never again.
They were so pissed. And then the next 4 episodes were like, might be a foot fetish pod.
You have to watch to find out.
Not a foot fetish pod. You know, just like fucking with him.
Yeah.
And then we stopped because we're like, this guy's like literally started coming for me, like in my normal Instagram, in our side friends Instagram. I didn't have a foot Instagram yet at that point, and he was just like literally like aggressive, like fucking just crazy. And so we blocked him and stopped. But then like, you know, we decided to do a foot cam video just to fuck around to see if anybody is out there still mad. And we actually got a lot of positive feedback. So we just kind of kept going with it. And it brought attention to the channel and things like that. And it was kind of funny. So we're like, you know what? Nobody else is doing this. Literally nobody else is doing this. I can't believe nobody else is doing this yet. Like, fuck it. Should we trailblaze?
Should we be telling like it is foot fetish?
So do these people like care what you have to say, or are they just there to watch the foot? Like, are they listening to what do you guys talk about when you have your foot on there?
There's both. So I think a lot of them have said, like, if you go to all the comments of the videos, like, the feet brought me here, but the conversation keeps me here.
Okay.
And that, like, that's all I care about. Like, the people who are just like putting me on mute and jerking off to my feet, like, I don't fucking care. You know what I mean? Like,
thanks for the view, but bye.
Get your rocks off, bro. Yeah, like, get your rocks off. I don't care. But the fact that people, like, the last live we did, I ended up turning the foot cam off, and people stayed. They were like there listening to the combo, like. And then we have our Friday episodes. People show up for those. I mean, not as many as the foot fetish, but like people show up for them, which, you know, that's all I care about. Because to me, it's first and foremost a podcast. Like, it's not even about foot fetishes. I just have a foot cam. So I don't know, whatever.
That's cool though.
I think that's the biggest misconception too. And
and
they're like, so what is your role then, guy? Like, like I still don't know.
I'm just here. I don't really know.
Do the cool effects.
Oh my god, I'm here to block. You're just here to block
pretty much. I've done that a few times actually. Like,
we heard that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We caught that part of the
we were
podcast.
watching one of your lives, right? It was a live.
I think it was pre-recorded. I think it was recorded though. Like, it was after you guys shared a live that was recorded.
Yeah.
I don't think we were actually watching you guys live.
No,
right?
It was after the fact, but you were, somebody was like in the comments and you're like, all right, hold up, this guy needs to go, and like you blocked him or something.
Did we post that, Stella?
Or maybe it was live. I don't think it was live.
It was a live episode, but because it automatically like records it and uploads it, like as we're talking, they can't see all the comments that we see.
Yeah.
We can, it's you in the video, like that guy's out of pocket. Okay, he's in timeout. That's it. Like, you're done.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
And it's the same guy, I think.
Really?
A couple of times he's come in and like starts demanding shit. And we're like, and then people get in the comments actually like
starts demanding shit.
Yeah. Well, I feel sometimes like I'm like a little clown, and like they're like, do this. I'm like, fuck you. Like, if you want me to do tricks for you, you better fucking start paying me. You know what I mean? Like, ain't shit free.
We should probably like do my feet instead of yours one day and like and just see what happens. If they think it's
You
if
probably
they know
really
it's
piss them off.
oh yeah. We get so many dislikes.
Like your fucking feet at all.
No.
Like, fuck you, guy.
But the people in the comments will start defending me too. They'll be like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like,
yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
It's because you're building a community. So even if it's about feet or whatever, it started about feet. At the end of the day, you're building a community. So people will stick around if they feel that you're worth it.
You guys, well, you guys might maybe we should tap into the prego fetish community.
Oh my gosh, me and Estela were talking about that. She's like, there's
Corey's
definitely
like, no,
something.
Bad idea.
No, but I was like, I'm sure I could do something. I can make mad money. And she's like, there's definitely people out there.
There's the prego fetish. There's the foot fetish. Maybe there's prego foot fetish. Like they might like
double time
in toes. Like get your money, honey.
Wild. That is. I'm so tired. I don't have energy for that shit. How do pregnant women do it? I don't know.
We were talking about this thing the other day, the choking fetish, like how a lot of people have a fetish with getting choked and like almost passing out. That's one I'll never understand that.
Well,
it's too violent.
That one, I mean, honestly,
he's
to me,
like,
that
I
makes
like
more.
That.
No.
All right.
You guys ever been choked out?
I
you can't say nothing. No.
It's kind of scary.
But I mean, at least like
it is.
I don't know.
Right? I'm like, am I gonna die?
At least there's some sort of physical sensation though, right? Like what's looking at a foot do for someone?
Yeah. Like
what do they do when they see the foot in real life?
Right.
That's just
when a chick's wearing sandals walking down the street.
No, like
you know what I'm saying? Like is that like seeing a nude chick to them?
They ask me if I catch people staring at my feet, which I never really have, and I hope not, because I'd be like, what the I'd like hide my toes if that happened.
Yeah.
But, like, they like foot jobs are a thing. Didn't know that until recently. Like I was like, okay, that's cool. Oh, and a lot of them like the smell of feet. Like that turns them on. Like they're asking me to mail them my socks. I mailed somebody my old shoes.
That is wild. I guess there's an audience for everything.
Whatever makes people happy. If it's harmless, you're not hurting anybody.
Right, I'm not hurting anybody. It's not porn. You know what I mean? Like I don't fucking care.
Do you have tattoos on your feet?
No.
Yeah, both my feet have tattoos. I'd be a dead giveaway.
They might like that though. I mean, who knows? There's
Corey, are you cool with the smell of Alicia's feet? The smell of her feet?
Yeah.
They don't.
She's like,
okay, she don't wear socks.
I don't like
though, so
I don't wear
like
socks.
Sometimes
they don't always. I really don't.
They don't always smell, but sometimes she'll pull off like some Vans or something without socks on, and no.
I'm human.
I ain't gonna lie about that. Like no.
But I hate.
And she teaches our kids to too. Because our kids don't wear socks now.
But I don't put socks on my kids. It's a thing in our household. It drives him insane. But yeah, Cruz's feet.
Yeah, our kids' feet stink.
Nobody wants to smell his feet.
It might actually be a thing with your family. And then with the Muay Thai, you guys don't wear anything on your feet doing training, right?
No.
See,
which I love. Yeah.
Shin guards.
What about that barefoot life?
Yeah, my stuff.
That's really San Diego of you guys.
Feet are stinky, Corey.
No, like when I train, the shin guards and the stuff I wear from
that's
got like a rancid smell.
Oh, it's bad.
But it's weird because like that smell like makes me happy. Like it
smells like
it reminds me of being in there and swinging gloves at people, swinging fists at people.
Your own scent.
And Corey says fights solve problems.
Fights solve problems.
Oh no, that's.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys' podcast and you were talking about the last time you've been in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I commented on your post. I thought you guys were talking about the podcast that I was listening to, and I guess it was the wrong post.
He commented the wrong thing on the wrong.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? I was like, we did talk about that, but last night.
You guys are talking about street fights.
Well, because Jimmy, you brought it up because we're like, now people just bring guns. They don't even fight anymore. Like,
yeah,
like people like back in our days, you swung your hair up real quick, you pulled out your hoops, and you
went at it.
Your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting.
It's a lost art. People, maybe it's because everybody's like so aware that a lot of people train MMA now, or whatever, jujitsu, Muay Thai, whatever they're into, boxing or whatever, and they're like, you know what, I'm not gonna get my ass kicked on camera, because a lot of times people are pulling out cameras and stuff like that now. So they're like, fuck this, we'll pull out this gun and everyone's gonna run. But I mean, it's definitely very bitch made of the people
for
that
sure.
do that. Like I wish more people took up, Muay Thai and different things like that, so that they would have the confidence to handle it.
And the discipline to not sometimes.
Yeah. And that too. And then also know when to stop. Like you don't want to like, off somebody or whatever, like if you guys could like have like a fair fight, and then when one person obviously loses, then that's it. And I love it when I see that.
Shake hands and you're done.
Yeah, but I think like half the people have the mentality of like there's no rule, there's no fair in a street fight, like anything goes. Street fighting is scary, man. Like when you're in school, it's not that bad. You can go behind the the back gate and throw down, but like now fights are scary because you don't know who's trained in what. And
who has the knife, who's good.
I like my dad used to get pulled over with people all the time on the freeway when I was a baby. Apparently, he like come home with black eyes and stuff. Got hit in the face with mag light once.
Oh, and,
wow. I mean, that's pretty bad. But nowadays, somebody when we lived in Hawaii, there was like there was 3 big freeways, and if one of those got backed up, you were fucked. Like you weren't going anywhere. And there was the worst traffic. It was like 12 hours one day, and it was because some dude got like there was a fight on the side of the road in traffic, and some guy got out and started stabbing people. Like he stabbed like multiple 3 different parties. Like people came up to help him or help like see what was going on, and he would like stab them. So he just like went on a stabbing spree and then took off. But
did you guys hear about that Colorado guy just yesterday?
Yeah,
that guy's
was it yesterday?
They're all bitches.
Like 2 days ago. Yeah.
I'm just like, man, like if you are like that messed up mentally to where you want to go and harm that many people, like why can't you just do it to yourself? I mean, like not that I'm saying like, hey, off yourself, because that's a serious issue.
Well, that's a better solution.
For sure. That's a personal problem that you're taking people's lives for, and those people have families. Like I don't know.
We could just go to the grocery store and somebody who's having a really fucking bad time just come in and take us from our kids. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Wild times.
Situations like that make me feel like everybody should carry. But I mean, obviously everybody's not responsible enough to be carrying. So, there goes that.
Yeah. No, it's like I know that everybody has their opinion on gun laws and stuff, but there's really no right or wrong. My philosophy in life is like, hope you're not in the wrong place at the wrong time, and do your best. Like train, carry if you can, and just hope you're not in the wrong place at the wrong time, because who knows what's going to happen. You
can't control it. There's just
like
too many
it's
variables.
a fucked up world.
Yeah.
It is, man. It is a messed up world. We need more people training Muay Thai. That's what it is.
Send them my way.
If you're like what was show of it? It was like that 70s show a long time ago. He's like, if you're not mad enough to like bare knuckle box, then you're not mad. Like, like that's like just fucking bare knuckle box or shut the fuck up and move on with your life. Like,
they got a new what do they call it? Just like I guess a new sport in a way. Like it's actually bare knuckle boxing. You've seen it, Corey.
Like Fight Club?
Yeah, it's BKFC.
BKFC. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's kind of crazy.
That's gnarly. Those dudes get cut up. Have you watched the fight?
I've seen a few. Yeah, it came to my attention when Paulie Malignaggi went in there, because I'm a huge boxing fan.
Okay.
And that's like what I watch more than any of the other fighting sports. And so when he went to it, that's how I learned about it. But I seen a few afterwards, and dude, like you said, like it's just a different ball game. It's like no other. Yeah, they get cut big time.
Like pretty much every fight turns into a bloody mess. Like they got
people like that kind of stuff though.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
That's what UFC used to be back in the day, from what I remember. Like, I mean, it still kind of is, but I feel like it was a little more along the lines of bare knuckle boxing before, right?
Yeah, they used to, well, when it first came out, they had all different kinds of rules. Like there was one dude who wore one boxing glove. Like he had one hand open and one hand with a boxing glove on. I don't know what his philosophy behind that was, but some dudes would like wear their like their karate uniforms or their gis. Some dudes will wear pants. Some dudes will wear fucking, I mean, you name it, man.
Well, they would mix the different types of martial arts.
Yeah, well, because that's what it was. It was like that was before, because like nowadays you can train MMA. Like you can go to a gym and take an MMA class, but back in the day it was just like people got invites. Like
you had like
karate,
a kickboxer
boxer,
with like a karate.
Like that was like the true MMA, because like they fought like Muay Thai against karate. Right. Now when you train, you kind of train a little bit of everything, you know, unless you're like just doing one sport specifically.
You remember Kimbo Slice?
Yeah.
Bro, those backyard bras used to be crazy.
Yeah, I grew up watching those.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's isn't that where Jorge Masvidal kind of got like his start as well?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Dude, I saw Jorge Masvidal fight in Kimbo's backyard fights like years ago. Before UFC may have been around. I don't know if I was watching it that early, but I remember seeing him when he was young. He was like 21 fighting. He was a young guy.
Shit's wild.
Yeah, it totally is wild. So Stella, tell us about the single life.
Yeah, you must have fun.
Y'all are married. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I've never, like, since I can remember, I can't ever think about, I've never pictured my future like married.
Really?
Is that weird?
You manifested it, is what you're saying?
Maybe I have. I always pictured myself with like, because since I can remember, for like the last like 12 years, I wanted like a wolf husky hybrid. Mm-hmm. And but I told myself I'd never get one until I have like a house, you know, because I don't want to keep it in like an apartment or something, because especially those, they need space. And when I pictured my future for years now, like it's me and like 2 dogs, and my kids are grown up, and whether they're in my house or not anymore, I don't know, but like that's it. Like that's like once my cat dies, I'm good, and then she's probably gonna be around for another 8 years. But it's just me and 2 dogs. I've never like wanted to get married, like even when I was in a relationship, like that was never a goal of mine. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was like raised by single women. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I didn't like have that example. But like at this point too, I've been doing it by myself for so long that it would take, like someone would have to come in and really like add value or like not inconvenience me for me to be like, okay, like this might work.
Yeah. They'd have to really get your attention.
Yeah. They have to like not fuck with my flow. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And like I have 2 children, so that's another factor, who are about to be teenagers, and like that's like usually that's not for everybody. So
yeah.
And I get that.
I think that's just kind of what happens when you hit your 30s, though. Like, there's a different mindset. Like, when you're 20s, you want to have fun with someone. Like, you want to go drink and you like want to do fun stuff. In your 30s, you're like focusing on career development and
you have a routine
shit like that, you know?
Yeah. I feel like I've been doing that shit though for such a long time. Like I had my daughter when I was 22, and like 2 months later, that's when I started college. Mm-hmm. And like it took me a really long time to get through college, like 10 years, because I was a single parent, like working and then raising the kids like by myself. So like there was times where I'd have to take terms off or semesters off because I just like would have to not be super poor, you know, like it's a lot of money to like raise the children and working, you know, as much hours as you can while going to school full time. It's like, it's fucking gnarly. Like I did that where I'd go to school Monday through Friday from like 8 to noon. And then I'd go to like, I had different retail jobs, and then I'd get the kids home, and then I'd go and work at night as a janitor. I'd get off at like 3:30 in the morning. I'd get up at 6 o'clock every day, get ready, get the kids out the door, and then go back to school. You know, like I did that for like 3 or 4 years where that was my schedule. Like I hardly slept. But I don't know, like, so the career building and all that shit, like that's something I had been fucking doing for a really long time. So now I kind of like want somebody to have fun with. You know what I mean? It's like flipped, it's like backwards.
Yeah.
But I also have fun like by myself, so that's fine.
Yeah.
I can't
probably just so used to it.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. Like
you're so accustomed to that just strong, independent woman kind of life where you don't need somebody else, so you're self-sufficient. But I imagine if you met the right person, that they wouldn't really fuck up your flow because you'd want them there. Maybe it's just you haven't met that type of person yet.
Someone extraordinary who adds value, who has.
Yeah, but you have to leave your house if you want to find somebody. Actually, I guess you don't, because nowadays they have apps. So I don't know.
I've never been on one of those.
I don't know what people do.
I've never been on a dating app like ever in my life.
Neither have I.
I've never, like, those didn't exist when I was single.
Right.
Last time I was single, there was no Tinder or Bumble. Like, I don't even know how to log into one of those and like the swipe function. Like I hear about that stuff, hear people talking about swiping and stuff, but I don't even know what it means.
Now they have them for friendships too, so you can like find friends if you want.
You're definitely getting killed if you go looking for a friend on that.
That's the other thing. I
don't need friends. I don't need friends that bad.
When me and my wife like first started dating is when they first started coming out with all those apps, and I, of course, was curious, and this was a part of our growing curve or whatever. And I got on one of those apps, and somebody she knew saw me on there and was like, "Isn't this your boyfriend right here?" And yeah, I learned a lesson. I was like, "Oh no, I was just trying to promote my business." That's what I told her. She was like, "Trying to promote your dick."
There was a fucking TikTok that someone just played the other day, and he's like, "No, babe, I was saying where the hose at, as in so I know not where to not go." Like, I was laughing so hard. He's like, "Babe, you're misunderstanding. I said where the hose so that I know don't go there." And that's kind of what that reminds me. I'm like, I was just using it for my business.
I can't imagine. I think I know too many people like in North County to like. I'd be embarrassed if somebody I knew saw me on one of those apps. I'd be like, "Oh, like."
I think everybody nowadays is got like they're kind of used to it. Like I don't know.
It's the norm. I think. Like my best friend is always on him.
He's always
he just
sharing.
does it to fuck around. Like he has no shame. He's not like doing it secretively. He's just like it's a fun way to meet people and hang out. But like he'll meet people that know us.
He's like, "Oh yeah,"
like he'll find them on
you.
Instagram, or like they'll see that we're like mutual followers and stuff. So it's definitely a small world.
Yeah.
It's so small.
Yeah.
Social media makes it an even smaller world.
I know.
Well, I'm just not really out there. I'm not trying to be like out there fucking either. I'm like very like hypochondriac as well. Like I don't want no motherfucking diseases. Like you can keep your HPV and your herpes and your fucking HIV. Like it's already bad enough that like if I have a tickle in my throat, I think it's the Rona, and I've not gone anywhere,
Yeah.
or like I'm like, oh my God, like I don't feel well, like it's probably HIV or cancer. Like, bitch, you haven't had sex in months. What you talking about? Like, how you have
HIV? It's probably
you gotta be careful, man, because there's a lot of people out there just fucking any and everybody. When I used to drive Uber out here in Vegas, I multiple times like there'd be like people in my front seat, like all right, so I'll just tell you the story right quick. Fuck it, Uber story time. All right, so I go and pick up some guy from the part of town where it's is populated with more of the gay community, right? And this guy gets in my car and he's like, "How much you make an hour?" I'm like, "Why would you ask me that? What are you talking about?" Like, obviously he's like super drunk or whatever, and he was like, "How about I give you this and you let me blow you?" I'm like, "What? Like, chill, dude." Like, first of all, no, I don't swing that way. No offense to anybody that does or whatever. But I'm like, what the fuck? You don't even know me. Like, what do you like? What if I had to clap?
You get home safe.
Like, right? I'm gonna
get you home.
Get out the car.
I think for me that would be the only reason, like that, like one of the perks that I could think of like marriage is like. Hopefully
you're not going to have a disease.
You know what I mean? Hopefully it's just
that is a comfortable feeling though.
Like the anxiety of like when you're dating, like, oh fuck, dude, like I know we used a condom, but you could still catch these things with a condom. Like that's like scary to me. Like I just would rather have one and stick to that. And like that's the part that like I'm down with in relationships. Like, designated dick.
Hopefully at least.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, I know what I wanted to bring up actually. So Alicia, Corey, so on your podcast, you were talking about like being in the mood to do it or whatever. And I was listening to this comedy sketch by Louis C.K. Do you know who Louis C.K. is?
Yeah.
Right. All right. So I'm definitely not going to be able to like repeat exactly what he said, but it was super funny because they were talking about like how guys are always in the mood to get it in, right? And women sometimes aren't in the mood to get it in. And he was like, I know what it is. He said, because guys, they get to fuck women. and women, they gotta fuck guys, and they're like, that's not as fun. And I was like, man, that's so fucking true.
Probably.
And he's like, the guys, they just jump on a woman, and they do what they do. 5 seconds later, they're like
Disneyland.
Fucking roll over. And then he said,
yeah,
and they wonder why the women, they want to cuddle afterwards, because they're thinking in their head like, motherfucker, I didn't get mine. Something else needs to happen right now.
That's so funny.
And I listened to that like earlier in the day before I listened to your podcast, and it made me think of that story. Like, man, that's probably true. And guys get to have sex with women. That's way funner. That's the fun sex right there.
I agree. Well, I mean, I'm not gay or anything, but I don't see like how really like we're bigger and we're hairy, and like a lot of dudes have dad bods and stuff. Like women, I think their body can, you know what I'm saying? Like it's got shape.
Way sexier.
Yeah, for sure.
It's sexy, yeah.
Like, and like I said, I know it's because I'm a straight man, but
right.
I don't know how anybody could look at it. I guess teacher.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Yeah, I'm totally with you.
I ain't gonna judge.
You should just say it though, man, because fuck it, let's get canceled. That's how we know.
No, I'm just saying it's just something I don't think I'll ever understand.
You have not made it unless you got canceled.
That's what we were saying.
It's real shit though, right? Like only people who are doing big things get canceled.
Like nobody's canceling me.
Like now more people are seeing our shit. We're like, fuck, man. One of these days we're just gonna like.
I'm just glad that this is on record, so that if they ever do try to cancel me, I'm gonna be like, I've been wanting this.
I've been
trying to get canceled.
The podcast with Alicia and Corey. I want this.
Oh fuck yeah.
So I was like, no.
Very awesome, guys.
I don't want this to go anywhere yet.
You don't want what to go anywhere?
My podcast, bro.
No, that's like not like a good thing to say. Like, why would you say that? We put only positive vibes out there, Estela.
You're talking about getting canceled. How the fuck?
Well, no, I'm not.
You're so stupid.
Never talk about that.
I don't have to get married because I have my work husband right here.
I am like, wait, like I kind of clowned you, huh? I was like, oh, so tell us about the single life, Estela.
I know, you're such an asshole.
There's nothing wrong with being single, though.
I know, I enjoy it. Obviously,
a lot of people who aren't single, they live vicariously through those who are still single, and then we think to ourselves like, damn. I'm glad. I had nothing to say about that right there.
I love it. I love the rawness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
So, before we dip out, let's talk about Dip
Shameless
Magic.
Plug.
Yeah.
Dip Magic, yeah.
Shameless plug.
Her clothing line, and then Corey, you're still doing personal training, right?
Yeah.
Are you?
He's doing like more.
Training? Yeah.
I am doing online training.
Now you have more time since you're not like running a whole ass gym like that's at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much time consuming that was.
Oh yeah, my life has changed a lot in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So.
Honestly, it's been so good. I know when I told you, you were like, I don't know if I should say congratulations or I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a big congrats.
I didn't know how you guys felt about it.
Yeah.
That's why, because like I was listening to your latest episode too, where you're like, I know people can view it as a downgrade, but that's not how I saw it when you guys first said that. I was like, oh my God, that's probably like a huge weight lifted off their fucking shoulders. Like,
Well, not only that, like I don't mind the stress and the responsibility of being in that position. Like I actually liked that. Like that was why it was hard for me. She wanted me to sell the gym. She's like, sell it. And I like being like responsible for people. You know, like I like when people come to me with problems and I can help them fix it and whatnot. That wasn't the just completely forgot what I was gonna say.
The issue?
Yeah. The issue wasn't being the leader. It was
the stress.
Just the stress of having the facility on our shoulders.
No, sorry.
There's like
I remember what I was
30 fucking trainers.
No, it was the biggest thing to me was that it was self-made, the brand, like it wasn't our thing.
Because it was a franchise, so we owned a franchise.
Yeah, so
gym.
We were working, and I mean, I ran the gym. You know, I didn't have that many rules. Like I was still the boss. I still ran the gym and whatnot, but it wasn't us. You know what I'm saying? And like our garage gym, while it might be a lot smaller and maybe not as cool as a big gym, it's 100% us. It's like our heart going into it. I don't know. I just that was
anybody.
That too. But
it's total freedom.
That's always the best.
Yeah, the big issue for me was just, I was running somebody else's business in a sense. You know, I was
Yeah.
growing their brand. And
Mhm.
like I said, I don't mind, you know, being the person that people come to,
Mhm.
but it's got to be something that's close to my heart, I guess.
Yeah.
And that took me kind of a while to figure out because, you know, like I said, she had been telling me like, we need to move on, we need to sell it. And my heart, I thought my heart was in it, but it was more of a, I don't know, I just had to see it for what it was.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
think he didn't want to like quit, you know, like
Yeah.
he wanted to be able to be like, I really did do everything I could. But for me, it was like, it was just time to move on. Like we've done what we needed to do. We've learned what we needed to learn. It's
Mhm.
not a downgrade. Now it's time for us to slow down a little bit and not be responsible for 30 plus people, plus having the overhead that we had, and also trying to run other businesses and all of that. It's like, it was so much. And like I mentioned in our podcast, there's a time and a place for hustle, grind, you know, work until from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep. But there's also a time where you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor and have family time and enjoy each other. And,
Mhm.
you know, we're expanding our family, and we have interest in other businesses. And fitness was at one point our whole life, and it's just not that anymore.
Mhm.
So I felt that for a while. Plus I have a psychic that I see. She's not a psychic. She's like a light heal. She's a light worker, but she's been telling me for freaking like ever. She's like, the gym's got to go. It's just like a dead weight. It's a dead weight. And so I, I always listen to, I always listen to her. She never steers me wrong. So, you know, can't get mad about it. But I've been telling him like, okay, it's time for us to move on. Like what we've needed to learn there has been done, and it's time to move on. But it wasn't something where he was going, oh, well, my wife's psychic said that we got to bounce. So it's time for us to like
Well,
sell.
he's
You
not a
know,
quitter, like you said, and I think part of that too is like you you don't want I don't like it's not about caring what people think, but like if you're telling people not to quit, like you
yeah.
don't also want to look like, hey, I just like gave up on everything
Yeah.
either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and
Yeah.
I don't feel like I gave up or I quit.
No.
I just I wasn't ready to move on, you know. But the thing is I didn't realize that I I didn't it's weird because like I thought my heart was in it. I thought I took a lot of pride in it. But I think the, you know, changing from that and selling the gym and working out of my garage now
An
showed me a level
evolution.
of pride that I didn't even realize I had. Like when I
Mhm.
see all my gym equipment in there and then I see her stuff in there, and like I'll be training clients and she'll be organizing her stuff, and I'm like, dude, we're like fully sustainable outside from within our garage.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Like
dope.
that to me is special, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And owning a gym, like there was perks. I got to network with a lot of people. Like a lot of people want to know the gym owner. Like not
Mhm.
that I care about popularity or anything, but it gave you opportunities to meet cool people
Mhm.
and, you know, like business opportunities and whatnot. But other than that, I don't think there was many perks to it. It was a
Yeah.
lot of hard work, and it was, you know, for somebody else. I feel
And
like
now
if you're gonna
you
work
guys
that hard, it's got to be for you,
get to
Totally.
be with your kids all the time, like
Yeah.
you
dude.
know
It's
what I
fucking
mean?
rad, man.
Which I mean, yes, it's kind of like fuck, man. Like I need
No,
to break
but it's
you
still
with that
good.
shit.
I
But
like it. I like
yeah,
it.
I
Well,
know. You get to play. You're like the men.
yeah,
I
he's the
feel like
third
are the
kid.
fun ones, you know.
Yeah.
Like we're like, no, like don't die, like stop it, like, you know,
Be
trying to like
careful.
keep order right. But like that's gonna be the shit that they like look back and they're like, I watched my parents do this. I spent a lot of time with my parents. Like
Mhm.
we had
And
all
that's
this
what we want.
time, you know, like
Yeah.
like Cruz. He's starting to get to an age where he's like, he's gonna remember this shit, you know.
Yeah.
For sure.
He has so much fun with you guys, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my main thing too is like my dad left when I was 2, and then he came in and out, and then my mom got remarried when I was like 9.
Mhm.
But like I personally I want to get to a point in my life where I don't have to look back on it and be like, fuck, I didn't spend enough time with my kids.
Mhm.
You know, now
Yeah.
we get annoyed because we're with them way too damn much. I don't have to
But
worry
Yeah.
about
then I'd
that.
rather have
Like that
that
ain't a problem.
problem. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
rather have that problem where it's like they're driving me nuts because they're always here versus
Right.
I'm always working, and you probably going to be at a job that I fucking hate. So I'm going to look back and be like, I didn't spend time with my kids and I hated my fucking job and I'm still poor.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that the life that we're creating, I think it's good that we've been able to kind of like really bring it in and be in the now with it and realize like this is what we're going to look back later and be
Mhm.
really thankful that we did, even though it is the harder route. It is more stressful. It's definitely that we always say like we understand why people don't do this shit because it's really hard
Yeah.
on our marriage, on our with our kids, with their everything. It's just like all the risk is on us, but that's also the best part of it because
The reward.
all the
Yeah.
reward is also all of ours. So it's I don't know, it's fun and it keeps us on our toes, that's for sure. We're always doing something.
Jimmy, you got kids?
Seem to make it work.
I do. Yeah, I got one kid.
How old?
Yeah. She is 6.5, so she'll be 7 this year.
Right on.
That's same with Cruz.
I gotta put another kid in the baby factory though soon.
Get on it.
Oh yeah. It's fun stuff. I always thought it was easier to have a girl. Like our son is wild, man. And then like I see people with their girls, and the girls are just like playing with dolls and stuff. And then so when we had our girl, I was like, hell yeah, we got a girl. But she's like, man, she's not like other girls.
She's wild. She's like a boy. She's like hard charging.
She
beats
also
up
has
her brother.
Cruz.
That's
and him.
Yeah, that's what I think it is, man. Like she's
I'm
tough,
the calmest one in my family. With the three of them are just like wild animals.
Well, my daughter is like easy as fuck.
That's the best way to describe them. They're like wild animals.
That's funny. Like that, but that's the opposite for me. My first kid was my daughter, who's like the easiest going child, literally in the entire fucking world. Like she's been able to be her own entertainment, and she's very like quiet, respectful. My kids literally never fight, and so like that's who my son had as like the person he watched and mimicked.
Yeah.
So like now they're both just like the chillest people. They literally, like I said, even being home 24/7 because of COVID, like doing school virtually and everything, they have not fought, dude. Like, and me, it's weird for me because me and my brothers were violent as fuck, you know, like, so I'm like, fuck, when is this going to show its ugly head? Like, is it going to show its ugly head? Like, what's going to happen?
Little setup.
I don't consider a lot of people lucky, but that sounds pretty nice.
It's fucking, it blows.
She's waiting for it. She's like, it's not going to last forever.
Right. I because I think about it and I'm like, she's a teenager. He's about to be a teenager. Like when our hormones, like they've shared a room basically their whole life. Like they're like this.
Yeah.
And they don't fight. And it blows my mind. I'm like, who the fuck are you people?
Wait, what sign is your son again? Because I know your daughter's a Cancer, right?
No,
she's an Aries.
No, she's an Aries moon.
She's an Aries with a Cancer moon.
There we go.
And
close.
he's a Gemini with an Aquarius moon.
Oh, those are all pretty compatible.
Yeah. By the way, we're like all four right now. Jimmy's a Taurus. You guys know I'm an Aquarius. That's an Aries and a Cancer. We're like, we got all the elements.
All the signs,
yeah.
Awesome.
Is that all the signs?
Yeah.
Elements, yeah.
Well, the water, earth, fire.
Yeah.
What am I if I'm a Taurus?
Earth. Yeah.
I've always
probably like to like. I felt one with
bricks in the background.
Yeah, you probably like to be outdoors and hike, things like that, more naturey. I don't know if that's.
I need to start hiking some more.
I miss it.
Oh my god.
Getting a little thick over there.
I'm getting a little thick. I'm feeling like I'm
we are, but we're. Maybe he can join the It's Almost Over for these hoes because Estela and I have been working out.
Yeah.
So as soon as this baby's out,
for these hoes out here.
Yeah.
And he had sympathy the whole time, like my sympathy pregnancy or my pregnancy. This pregnancy, out of all three of them, he has adopted the sympathy more than any other pregnancy.
I've seen the stories. Corey's like, what the fuck, Alicia?
It's bad. Like I know everything I'm doing is so wrong, but I just can't. I can't
but it
do anything about it.
Yeah. It feels so right.
I feel like I have your pregnancy, Corey.
Maybe it's just like a pregnancy / everyone's like locked inside, and the whole COVID thing probably doesn't make it any easier.
Probably what it is, just being home.
We're all just getting a little thick, but hopefully this will be the summer we all come back.
I've never not worked out. Like this is like this last year and a half, like just since I've moved back down here, like just I was finally getting into my groove, like getting back on my feet again. And then COVID hit and I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like I haven't been this heavy since my son was like 1.
Yeah, that's a lot for a lot of people. The gym is for sure a lot of people's outlet for things. And when they got taken away, it was like really hard for a lot of people. And some people just cannot work out at home. Like
I'm one of those. It's
like if you don't if you don't have equipment, especially, but some people have stuff and they're still like, I just need to like go to a different place and not be in my home. But
my wife just got an at-home exercise bike or whatever. I try to use it. I don't know what it is. It's from Costco though, but I tried to use it like a week ago or whatever, and it made my ass numb.
It does. You gotta get used to it. It takes about a week of riding before it doesn't hurt anymore.
I was
Just gotta push through the pain.
How am I gonna
And they don't
use
make
this?
like more comfortable seats. They tried making bike shorts that had butt pads on them or whatever, and like nothing worked. So people were like, you just have to push through it.
It's like
And it's true.
Something about this house, like one way or the other, I always like get punched in the balls, and then I get an exercise bike and my nuts go numb. I'm like, damn, man, I got a Latino wife. She punches me often. I'm scared. Actually, today she was vacuuming, and it's on video, by the way. I should probably share this. Like she was vacuuming, and I walked behind her, and you know, she's for some reason vacuuming aggressive like this. I'm walking behind her, and like she like maneuvers like this and gets me out of my nuts, and like I fall to the ground. I'm like, oh no. Like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I got it on video. Actually, I should share it with
domestic violence.
Yeah. Oh, man, fuck.
Blink twice if you need internet.
Right. Well, man, where could everybody find you guys on social media and whatnot?
Definitely on Instagram. That's where I spend most of my days. I share a lot on Instagram. Actually, you kind of do too. Not as much as I do, but Instagram, and then we have our podcast, obviously. And then Corey has
too?
It is.
Yeah.
So it's
Tell it like it is.
Tell it like it is, or tell it.
Yeah.
Cast with.
Well, see, yeah, it's different. It's Tell It Like It Is podcast, but on Instagram it's Tell It Cast, just because it's easier. But I can send it to you guys so you can just put everything in the show notes or something.
Yeah, we're gonna put it
clickable
in the description.
Easy and clickable.
That way people can find you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for sliding through the SideFriend Chronicles podcast.
Absolutely.
Highly appreciate it.
Alicia and Corey Jones.
Thank you guys.
We just vibe out. Everybody just vibe out for a second.
Wait, your headphones are gonna disappear. All right,
thank you,
guys.
Everybody
Don't hang up yet.
Tuning in. We'll catch you all next episode. Don't go nowhere, Alicia and Corey.
Okay.
All right.